Hello, today we are going to take a look behind the scenes at the creation of Freytra Peaks, a new track that will feature in SuperTuxKart Evolution. Freytra Peaks has been designed by Sven, the creator of Black Forest, who is now working as our lead artist, designing new tracks for the upcoming release. Initial work on this track began several years ago, before 1.0's release, when Sven was still exploring and experimenting with track creation. The vision that led to Freytra Peaks was simple: a snowy mountain track with one signature moment, a massive jump that would give players that exhilarating rush of flying through the air. The road layout was spontaneously sketched, letting the terrain and the central jump dictate the flow. This intuitive approach can produce natural feeling tracks quickly, but it requires careful refinement. Early versions included a corkscrew turn near the end that was ultimately cut. In kart racing, every second matters, and players should spend their time in memorable places, not filler sections. The challenge with organic track design is ensuring players get great views of what's coming. When you're racing at speed, sightlines are everything. A more widely applicable process is to map out key visual landmarks first, before building the road to showcase them. Thankfully, the open mounting setting of Freytra Peaks made it possible to sculpt the landscape around the road, immersing the player in the isolated mountains, while making it easy to follow the road. With the road layout established, it was time to build the world around it. The goal was to create the atmosphere of a remote mountain refuge, with isolated peaks, a tiny village clinging to the slopes, and vast stretches of untouched snow. The first revisions used placeholder assets, existing trees, houses, rocks, and background mountains from our library. This is a crucial step in track development. Placeholders let you evaluate composition, scale, and atmosphere quickly before committing to custom modeling. You can iterate on the overall feel without getting bogged down in details too early. The terrain itself required careful sculpting to achieve those characteristic alpine forms, sharp ridges, sweeping bowls, and dramatic elevation changes. The distant mountain ranges were designed using Blender's ANT landscape add-on to generate realistic terrain, before blending the snow and exposed rock textures into height-based masks. Blender's texture baking feature allowed to convert these procedural materials into optimized textures that work seamlessly in Antarctica, our game engine. The background mountains don't need to be highly detailed. Their job is to create depth and sell the scale of the environment. The snow layer was made using a neat technique, duplicating the landscape geometry, raising it slightly, and tucking the edges under the roads and rocks. This simple trick created a convincing blanket of snow that gives the environment real depth. With the landscape established, the next part was populating the world with the details that would bring it to life. This phase is where tracks truly find their character and where the bulk of development time goes. Custom props were created: signs, barriers, small structures, and environmental details. Most of these initial models served the track well, but some would eventually be superseded by better ones. This is where Freytra Peaks stood in 2020. In 2025, with SuperTuxKart Evolution as a new goal and having spent years mastering his craft, Sven returned to Freytra Peaks with greater ambitions. The venerable snow peaks that Freytra Peaks will replace was already outclassed, but we aimed higher still. The trees and the buildings in particular needed to match the quality bar we're setting for Evolution. For the village buildings, Sven opted to craft one detailed house, before modifying it to great variants. This is a practical approach to maintain visual consistency while keeping the workload manageable, which is important for professional game development. The iconic jump created an interesting problem for reverse mode. A reverse jump ramp was considered, but wasn't elegant. To solve this, Sven carved several small paths through the trees. It's a solution that fits the environment naturally while solving the gameplay challenge. Before the release of the track in the donation package, the main wooden lodge was rebuilt from scratch. Countless smaller elements were also refined: icicles clinging to rocky overhangs, smoother texture transitions across the terrain, more detailed rock formations. These touches might seem minor individually, but collectively they create polish and immersion. So, what's next for Freytra Peaks? Before the final release, a final polish pass is planned, with improvements to elements such as roadside rocks, the finish line, and the main jumps. But beyond that, we consider this track complete. Further enhancements can always be found, but it is a balancing act with many other tracks clamoring for Sven's time. Indeed, Beyond Freytra peaks, our goal is to bring the same quality standard across the entire game. Candela City and the Old Mine have recently received Sven's attention. We'll take a deeper look at these changes in future videos. Freytra Peaks is available in early access for donators as part of the 1.5 gift package alongside Drainage Dash. Check out the link below for more information. If you have your own track idea that you'd like to bring to life, check out the track creation guide on our website to get started. Sven's own journey as a track creator began by trying his own hand at designing add-ons. Thank you for watching our SuperTuxKart Evolution devlog. If you want to be notified of our future videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also help the game's development with a donation or by contributing directly. Details are in the description below.